Welcome to my desktop. This is watching a video, my last one. Now, now that I know, now that I, now that my assumption was dashed that I forget the name of it actually. It's totally silly that I'm forgetting, but these suckers. I'm trying to move this cursor. That was pretty funny. These are just simply an upgrade. I now realize that, of course, they're just an upgrade, just a simple upgrade to the Great Ballista. That's all they are, because ballistas are area damage, and these are area damage, and it's just an upgrade. It's not a super weapon against things like mutants. Having that in mind, I won't be using them, and I took them off the tech tree actually, because they're at the moment my brain's just conceiving them as a poor stopgap, trying to do too many things at once. The ballista's great, but it's a cheap weapon you can shove in there next to, really close into, a shocking tower, to support shocking towers and early game protection. That's it. So that's all I conceive of them as, and it's just trying to do too many things at once. I would like it to do a lot of significant damage to a certain thing, but at the same time, when it's like a mutant, it's not going to do the job of doing significant amount of damage, because it's taking, I think, the DPS of, you can pack in, because you've got to space these out. They're taking space from soldiers in towers, and they cost a lot, which means they're significantly impacting your ability to build a lot of troops. And I think the best thing for me to do is to use ballistas and shocking towers in areas like this, in a backup area, right here, right here, right here, and down in my original location. Now, what I'm going to try to do is place this kind of defense here, and then after the second to final wave, just before the final wave, I will place it. And now that I know it's on day 49, that's the final wave. Now that I know that, just before day 49's wave, I'll be building tons of towers in this area, just towers. And of course, once I've gotten the towers populated, then I start putting in walls and Gatling guns and just cross my fingers, because if I can't stop them there, I'm not going to stop them at the secondary walls, period. So it's all or nothing. By that time, hopefully, I can have a ridiculous amount of soldiers built by then. 500, that'd be great. I know I can do that because I've done it before. So it's like, hey, I can actually do this kind of output. This is great. So yeah, if I can have 400, if I can have 100 here, 100 here, and 100 here, and 100 here, that'd be great. And 100 divided by 4 is, I believe, 25 towers. So if all I have to do is build 25 towers here, 25 towers here, and that should do it. 100 soldiers will kill, 150 soldiers will kill a giant, usually taking a few losses in the open against one of the huge giants, the big ones, without taking hardly any losses, sometimes 6 or more. But it can do it. They can do them. So what I'm hoping is that having 25 towers, like 5 rows of 5, will do the trick. And of course, I'll be adding in autoguns on all the fronts and stone walls, hopefully slowing them down a bit. That's the plan. Also, the plan is to remove this and this, and hopefully move this closer to this end, to have a situation where the zombies want to go straight for the town center and will bypass this area. Plus, it's kind of hard to shove it in because you've got it here, and this is the best place for this one right here. But I can't place this close to here or here because of this. So it's kind of awkward putting it there because I know that they'll attack down here. But if I remove this and put this here instead, I'm kind of screwing myself for defensive, so I can't do that. I'm probably going to have to put this right here, plunk it right here, and then my 25 towers will be, schmucked up against that. But yeah, that's my plan. Hopefully that'll work. I think it's far enough away from here that I can plant it there. Fairly sure that I can do that. So yeah, that's the plan there, changing that up. Other things, I'll probably switch these two. Like, I'll put the market here, but I like the placement. I definitely placed the inn way too early. It's great because it gives you 100 workers. It costs you 100 food, and if you've got tons of surplus food, go for it. But I think I really hampered myself early on by cutting into my wood production. So that's going to be placed once I've got this entire place set up, and I'll reserve a spot for it. It unfortunately is in an awkward position because by having only one stone here, which is okay, having it here covers all the houses in the easterly direction, right here. But the best place for this is right here, and then I can place another one right here for stone. But the placement of this dictates that I only have one stone there, which is kind of awkward. And I needed a lot of stone actually at the end, even more iron actually. But I'm thinking maybe that I should chill on the whole inn thing. I'm not really sure whether it's worth it, right? Yeah, and I'll press, there we go. Okay, so yeah, I'd be missing out on I think these four houses, and I'm not sure whether I should do that, if it's going to really hamper the inn's ability to get the critical units I want. But at the same time, maybe I should move it one that way. But if I move it one that way, it'll only mean I lose, I think, this house right here. Pretty sure I keep this house. Fairly sure. I think this is in line with here. Yeah, totally. So I think I'll be fine if yeah, that'll be fine. Yeah, I don't need those four houses to be absolutely covered by this inn. So yeah, so I can have 2 stone quarries there. That's the other change. Oh, and I'd had to move this because otherwise when I put it here, the soldiers have to go all the way around this farm, and it's kind of awkward. So yeah. And I like this placement right here. It's handy. But yeah, definitely placing the towers up there, but split them up because I don't need all those mutants glomming on me. I'd rather tackle them separately, the 2 waves that come from east and west in the north there. But yeah, 25 towers each, and if I get more than 400 soldiers, great. That's even more towers. So yay me. Yeah, it's just can I place 25 towers in each zone? I think I can. I don't think I changed anything else here, or if I'd want to change anything else here. I had to switch up ideal spots for hunters' huts right here because the warehouse I placed right there. And I'm not sure, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4. No, that would not work. Yeah, that warehouse right there. I was thinking of placing it here, but that's not going to work at all. Yeah, that was the only change I did as well. Yeah, shifting this one northeast, and I think I shifted this and this up north one so I could get this covered by the warehouse. And early on I'd switched the positions of these Tesla towers. I forget why, actually. Why did I do that? There was a damn good reason. Why had I done that? Give me a second. How was I placing it initially? Got a picture somewhere. My cell phone. Give me a sec. Oh, okay. I think, I'm not sure. Where the heck is that other? It could be hidden behind here. I don't think so, though. Right, because if I had it, I used to have it here, and that would just complete. But once I've set this up, it would actually force the soldiers to go all the way around. So having it here allows them to go straight up there, especially when I'm trying to get soldiers right here. So yeah, that's why I placed it here. And then this was too close up here earlier. It was here, and it was way too close, so I had to fiddle with things. So yeah, definitely this way is going to work. Yeah, that was the other change. I think that's about it for theory crafting. Yeah, it's just pump out the soldiers. That's my only safeguard. Yeah, I mean, I might think of going for snipers. I mean, even though Tactical Fried Rice says soldiers are great, in a defensive position, the snipers would have more range, and I believe they'd have the same DPS. I haven't calculated with that final tech, right? So, yeah, for the snipers. So, augmented reality, I believe it is. So, yeah, that's the plan. I'm going to try soldiers. If that fails, I doubt it will. Well, soldiers will definitely work. Because I've seen Tactical Fried Rice do it, so yeah, he might have had a ridiculous amount of soldiers compared to me. So I might need to go for snipers based on my skill level, but we will see. I'm going to try to avoid snipers because at apocalypse settings, snipers are fairly bad for aggro, but I'm getting to the point where by the time you get snipers in position to work, you want to draw aggro as much as possible once you've got it planned out, right? So, and it's amazing to me that Thanatos don't the Wikipedia stuff says Thanatoses have 500 sound, and I don't think that's true, because you'd think, well, 500 would draw from everywhere. But like on that El Dorado thing, you saw, I mean, if you watch the video of me with Thanatoses, I was expecting to sucker in everybody before the final wave from that big pocket, and they just weren't going for it. I'm like, well, that kind of sucks. Yeah. All right. I think that's about it. I mean, there's no real way of me taking advantage of Thanatoses in this map. So I think I'm going to just not tech Thanatoses at all, and just trust in soldiers, basically. Thanatoses take a lot of iron too, so I'm just going to bypass Thanatoses. I'm going to bypass those upgraded ballista towers and just go full soldiers and screw everything else. Thanatoses are fun. It's just, yeah. Just not going to cut it. All right. So that's the plan. I can't think of anything else I need to change. I was doing pretty good. I was doing very well. You saw I was getting my map. I zoom out all the way and get the hunters. This hunters thing right here. Sorry, I zoomed out all the way, and I could see where the mutant was in relation to this cliff right here. And every time it got close, I'd make sure my guys were, my rangers were back, shooting at the zombies still here. And whenever it went far away, I'd get them to go, go seeky, just go nuts and kill everything they can. But I was very careful about that. And in fact, at one point, all 5 were shooting, and then all of a sudden I swear was out of range, but it started moving, and I stopped my guys to move them over here to, oh god, here he comes. And as soon as I stopped attacking, he got to about here and stopped moving, and I'm like, so I might be able to metagame that, purposely move him all the way up, and then he pretty much ignores everything you do until something big happens, and then he'll start to run at you. But by then you're ready for him, because this right here, shocking tower and ballista and all these guns, or half these guns, and full up of your built-in soldiers, by that point you can easily take him out. It's quite funny, actually. It's like, wow, you shouldn't need to be worried that much. So yeah, that's the plan. I'm sure by me able to imagine what I'm doing now, that I'll be able to clear out a lot more space before the end, for sure. Absolutely. And especially with all those soldiers, yeah, hell yeah. So that's definitely in the works there. I don't think that there's anything I need to build up prior to this point. I really don't.
Wow.
I'm trying to think, should I build this for the... If I'm building up beforehand, I should definitely have this ready, just ballistas, not upgraded. But, and a shocking tower here and here, just to protect against the prior waves.
Building completed.
But yeah, that I had no idea. I just literally, my jaw dropped. I was like, there is no way in hell, unless of course I was counting on. But of course, at this point, when these upgraded towers started shooting, I realized that I'm dog meat, because it just wasn't having the effect that I was hoping at all. Yeah, seriously, it was like, oh, that was a bad bet. Yeah. Yeah, I was just, wow, I'm dog meat. yeah, I knew I didn't have enough soldiers. That was like, I need way more soldiers. Yeah, that, and of course, as soon as they opened fire and they weren't melting, I was like, where were the wounded? They're not wounded. Oh my god, that's just. And then at that point, I knew I'd screwed up. You know, I knew that the soldiers were doing way more damage than. Yeah, it was just like those towers of soldiers are doing more damage than the Gatling guns. I'm pretty damn sure. Pretty sure. I, I can't. I'm not. I can't be guaranteed of that. Uh, but I'm fairly sure that that mutant right there is taking less damage. Yeah, see, than than the ones the soldiers are shooting at. So yeah, that's probably the ones the soldiers shooting at. So I'm like, okay, this is very underwhelming. Dog meat. But yeah, anyways. So yeah, that was I uploaded it. So yep, you probably watched it. So there you go. Jesus. Yeah, I was like, oops, derp. But yeah, I totally planned out now. I know the layout of my city. Things will go way quicker now. Cool. All right. That's it for my theory crafting.